see if I can refresh this and what will happen. I have to set up the chat yet. What is it going to do? Okay. I think I'm on camera. I was going to close the door. Oh, yeah. Make sure the cats are. I'm just making sure the cats are. Okay. And we are live. Hello, everyone. Okay. Let's see. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. Hello, everyone. I don't know if that thing is correct, but let's see. We are gonna look at this chat here and make sure that things are aligning correctly, because Black Lives Matter. Okay. Pretty sure I'm signed in. Yep. Pretty sure I'm signed in here. Yep. Let me go and try this. And I don't know if I even have. I have it so. Pretty sure I'm signed in. Hi, Sherry. 61 Jen, how you doing? Okay, let me see if this shows up on here. Oh, I know how to say hello. I know how. Hi, Melissa. How you doing? Okay. See if I can get setting things up, but otherwise I'm gonna do some readings. Oh, it didn't work. Might have worked on the other one. Oh, it worked on there. And restream. Okay, maybe I'll put restream on. How you doing, Jen? How you doing? Let's see if I can. I guess what's happening is oh, I was like wondering why I couldn't move my stuff, and then I was like, oh, it's because of that. Let me just change something on my. I have to go into this weird thing. Hi, Megan. How you doing? I'm gonna change this to get to see the back rooms of the room here to this. Let's see if I can figure out how to change it. It's like so. Just having a little technical difficulties today. All right, so this should work out fine. Like that. Just like that. Ta-da! All done. Okay. Now you can see the chat. All right. So hello everyone. My name is Angie and I am a medium. I also do trance and tarot readings and everything. So if you guys would like a reading, let me know. Let's see if all this shows up on everything. Yep, everything's fine. Okay. It showed up, I don't know if Facebook is on. There it goes. Okay. All is well. If you could share the live, I would appreciate it. I'm going to get my cards out. I got oracle cards. I usually I use. So if you would like a reading, I would, they're free. And just ask, and I will start a list if there's a lot of people. But other than that, I think we're good. I don't know if this, let's see if it does it once it still works, I think. Still working? Hi. It doesn't work when I take, oh, is it because I have that off? Weird. Okay, I need to put on this again. Maybe it's because I have the Social Stream Ninja on. Weird. Hello, Angela. Another Angela. There's always a lot of Angelas. I like that. Hello, Scooby. Hello, Heather. How you doing? I always say your. I see the name and I just can't stop from saying it. Even though it's always so funny. I'm just gonna see if I can say hello. Oh, okay, it worked, but I don't know why it's not working on here now. Oh well, it works when I write on there, but not anybody else. Not when anybody else writes on TikTok. I guess that's the only time it writes is then. Oh, it's okay. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Laughing at me. Oh, hi Samantha. How you doing? She's on Facebook. Let me see. I was gonna try to fix my. See if that restream's working. I had some technical. I was trying to do something like I thought I'd be all smart, but it didn't work out. So that's okay. I'm like, it'll work out. No, it didn't. Okay, there. So I'll have to figure that out some other time. I was like trying to figure out. I'm like, why am I worrying about this? I could do it later, you know. And then I got my husband and my son are in Wisconsin for the weekend, and so I'm a cat lady. I'm home alone. It's really weird. So yeah, you know how that goes. Oh, you saw my message pop up about being late, or are you talking about when I did I message you? Okay. It's funny. Does anybody like a reading? I realized those those meditations, you know, because I was doing them on the fly. Oh, it's now showing up. Okay, hold on. I messed up on something. That the sound was kind of too loud. You would like one? Okay, Heather. Let me get some cards out. So I didn't have a theme plan for today, so we're just doing a mediumship today. Spirit readings, which is enough, right? Okay. What kind of card deck do we want to do? Okay. I got them all out, I think. I got them all out. Let me pull this chat up so I can see it better. Otherwise, I'm trying to like squint looking at the little one. Okay, Samantha, give. Oh, you want to know about your twin flame, Angela? Okay. Let's see. We'll do Heather and then Samantha and then Angela on TikTok. How's that sound? Okay. I just there's so many I wanted to pick. Looking at them. Oh, thank you, Angela. That's nice of you. All right, here we go, Heather. Oh, we gotta light a candle. Angie's not. All right, we're on point. Okay. Hi, Dawn. How you doing? Okay. This is for Heather. Oh. Carry the torch for others to see. Wake up the world. It's for you, Heather. I just feel like it's more of being an inspiration. I feel like to your not just to your family, but to others around you. Your I see like three. I wonder if you have. Hi, see through. How you doing? um, you have like two kids and a husband, and I just feel like your ex-husband. Okay. I just feel like you do like influence him to change in some way. Sure, I can put you down. You do have a blinker. Okay. Do you feel like you influence him in a way like to grow? Um I feel like people that felt like it was a male though that you're kind of like talking to though, like more so. Not as much, maybe it's just more of a friend. Do you have a I feel like you have a friend that you maybe it's not as much of a partnership like but it feels like a best friend. Like you have a best friend guy that's a best friend that's you talk to. I feel like you influence him a lot. You know, I think you bring up a lot of ideas of things that he doesn't really. I mean, like I feel like you're in different, like not in different worlds, but in a way, able to bring through that some things that he doesn't really like partake in or think about. I feel like sometimes, like when talking to somebody, talking to him, I feel like it just doesn't. I feel like it's a male. Maybe it is your ex-husband, but it feels like more of a friend. Maybe if he's like a friend, but I feel like maybe your ex-husband isn't as much. When I was like feeling like, is this the ex-husband that I'm feeling? I felt like maybe that wasn't, but um, I feel like that there's just this inspiration that you have with that where you can, when you do talk about these things that excite you and are open about them, I think it does like it's like they take notice. It's like because it's like you don't. I feel like you don't do it as often. I feel like you kind of don't express it as much as you would normally, um, but have been lately. If that makes sense. So just feel like you've been talking to some male about stuff, and I don't know if it's spiritual stuff as much, but more just, just things that have been, yeah, it does. Okay. It just, really been on your mind. It's like you've, um, and I feel like, this unconditional, well, the motherly love that you have for your children, it's I just feel like it's a different vibe than you had growing up, and it just was like, it's like you they're your inspiration. I feel like, things in your life you're realizing are such to how just kind of all tie together, and how you're living and how you're all growing together. And I think it's really beautiful. Like, and I think, also, like, I think the reason why I didn't really think of your ex-husband that way when I was is because I just didn't think, I felt like he really got, well, felt like kind of grew, well, he grew apart, but more so it was, yeah, I don't know if that the communication is as good as it could be, but, I think just sometimes maybe that was in the past, but I feel it. I don't know how I'm feeling about him really. Um, and I just don't want to. I don't know why I don't want to go into that. I just feel like very like wanting to be like, you know, like away from it. Yeah, like a anxiousness away from him for some reason. I think it's because just because, I don't know if it's because of, this feeling like, you don't want to like rehash it, I guess, you know. But I think it's, like a past thing that is okay to not, like, anything that happens in your past is always, you know growth and learning, and not to be, I'm not saying you're ashamed though. I feel like it's just, things, you don't think you're gonna is gonna happen, and then, yeah, it does, and it's like, well, at least you tried, right? So I guess just don't get down on yourself about it. I feel like, just with your kids, it's the inspiration of being the way you are mothering them, and taking care of them, and how you're feeling through that is an inspiration to yourself of your own, like, growth and healing too. So I hope that made sense. It's could be or like, or Heather, you know. Um, do you have a brother, Heather? I feel like maybe it was a brother that I'm sensing. Maybe I don't know. You, maybe you inspire. Feel like maybe well, a friend could feel like a brother too, but, I don't feel like he's in spirit, but, um, I do feel like, you do have a good friend that, you know. So you have, okay. Um, yeah, that's what I thought. I felt like he wasn't in spirit, but it felt like he was, like, you, in some roundabout way, you inspire him. I don't feel like that you see each other very often. Um, I don't think he'd ever tell you that, but I feel like there's like a connection there, that where, he, okay, that's why. Okay. So I think you're inspiring him in some way. It's just not just being who you are, you know. Um, but yeah, I didn't feel like you could get see him at all. Um, and I felt like it was more of, like a type of and I don't know. I guess this is more of a psychic reading because I'm like kind of like, but I feel like somebody in spirit is like explaining family, really. You do? Okay. But I feel like like when I was saying close, like, like couldn't see each other. But I feel like he there is a part of him that just, like you do inspire him um and show him, well, just being you, you know. I do feel like there's like a, like, and I don't see this as a malicious, jealousy can be not, it sounds like a horrible word, but like, I mean, there's some jealousy in there. It's like I guess it's not jealousy. It's more like admiration of what you're doing, and that's what, um, oh, I feel like it's so, what I mean, you're just so, the admiration, the how you admire him. I mean, he admires you. It's not, people can look at that as, I mean, that could turn into jealousy sometimes. And I don't feel like he's like that's a bad, but I feel like he's like really admires you and looks at you and goes, wow, like if she can do it, right? Um, I can too, um, I should, just that inner feeling you give him. And I feel like that's a great thing that you're, just we always like try to like think about, do things for others and all this and that, but like really just being who we are is the value that all that matters, right? I mean, I think it's not worrying about what you can do for other people, but just being who you are. And I want to just say that, thank you for being who you are, Heather. So I don't know, I just feel like I don't know who it is in spirit that's telling me this. I But it's just, I don't know, it was a father. Um, it's just the resilience and the love that you have for everyone. I think is something that, you know, be admired. Thank you, Heather, for letting me read you first. It's always hard to do the first one because you're get setting in that energy there. So okay. Well, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, see through. Dolphin. I like that. Let's see. Hi, Grace. Thank you for following. And thanks, Angela, for following. And Tina. Okay, so I think we have Samantha on Facebook. And then we're going to go to, this is how Angie, like, oh, and then Angela. Okay, so I'm going to start writing this down. So we have Samantha, Sam, and then Angela. And then we have, I think see-through's next, right? And then Tina, if you would like one. Tina. If Tina wants one, I don't know if she asked. I just wrote her down. I'm like, Tina, you're getting a reading, lady. And then, if you're still here, and then Dawn, if you would like one, you could, or if whatever. Okay, so Sam is correct, but yeah, it's like for some reason, like I think it's Sam. Okay, let's see. We got. Let's do Angie and Wonderland. What I got here? I don't know if oh yeah, I was gonna have some of my coffee. I make a thing of coffee. Coffee today, no tea. I was hungry. Hungry for coffee. Yeah, thirsty for coffee. Hi, Mike. I like when people just pop in here. They probably like not even in when I say hi, but I don't know. So I say hello to hello Velcro Kitty. They probably leave. All right. I don't know how it works. Um, Sam. Let's see what we got here. Oh, following the unknown, descent, momentum, change. Oh, that's always good things. Good things. Going down the rabbit holes. She doesn't look happy, but oh, you have a severe allergy to coffee. Wow, I've never. Sorry, I didn't never like coffee until just recently, which is weird. My dad loved coffee. He would have it like pots of it throughout the day. Oh, now I've followed in his footsteps. I never heard of anybody allergic to coffee. Is must be some type of not the caffeine as much, but probably some type of you know, well, I don't want to say carcinogen or whatever, but whatever. um, so the unknown descent momentum change, Sam. Just a rare allergy, yeah. Um, I just see you. I just have this feeling. It's not as much of something you're doing, but just how you're feeling. As you're going throughout your day, I think if you were to look at your like a month ago and you look and how you felt, and then kind of remember that. I don't know if you I have these weird things where I feel like I remember how I felt at a certain point in certain points in my life. And it just seems weird like how different you can feel energy wise as you go through life. Um it all depends on what's all happening. This is for Sam and Angela. You're next after that. She's on Facebook. Sorry. But yeah, you're next. It's okay. The spirit sometimes does like double like readings. They'll like give one, but I don't think this is yours. But listen up. It could. Sometimes they give double messages. Um I just feel like your energy is like just you just feel like different, and I feel like it's like well, it's like a change, but it's a good change. I feel like you just have this more of awareness around something that you do. Feel like it's more of like what you're doing in your home more instead of just going through motions. I feel like you are like becoming more aware and more present about what you're actually putting your energy out. Just feels like a lot of like like there's just a part of me that wants to go and not do stuff and just go play, but it's hard. um okay, that makes sense. So about a month ago your energy changed. Okay, that you're more aware of what you're doing. It's like where you just I feel like it's because you're aware of what you were doing. I think you were distracting yourself from something. Sometimes we do that. We get the energy to do things and then but then we're um I feel like there's this like an ebb and flow to us, just like the moons sometimes, and it's like just being aware that's okay, you know. Um, there's not always gonna we're not gonna always be this consistent robot, so it's like just I think the more we worry about that we're not as on task as we were before can really get us like um um yeah, I feel like it's just like being kind to ourselves, knowing that um you're not having to do, all this stuff that you think you need to do really doesn't need to be done. It doesn't. it's it's just it's like, and I think we can get in the mode of doing that, but then all of a sudden, our body's gonna, or our energy or psyche is gonna go, okay, I need a break. So I think it's that, yeah. So you said you need a break, but it's only me doing it. No one else is able to now, but I can. Yeah, I feel like you're doing a lot of stuff. I feel like, just feel like there's. I think I mean, I read you before, but and you indicate by, so I'm sure. um, I feel like you have kids, and I feel like there's also a husband, and yeah, it gets you down. I guess is okay. Then that's the thing, is like not worrying about lists, because like I look at it as like all these things that I mean, like I could. I'm not gonna. I mean, like you look at all the people that are our past loved ones in spirit, and you know, you don't. They don't go, yeah, I did all those lists. Like, they're like, I mean, it's just it's something we put on ourselves, which is good, but it's good not to, like, I mean, not get too wrapped up in the lists. I do it too. I have so many lists, and then it gets paralyzing. It's the paralyzing thing of like, now there's too many lists and I got so much to do, and but then it's the, yeah, it's it's just being yeah, aware of that. There's just never enough time. There's always going to be something, right, that you're going to have to do. Never going to end. Not trying to get like down, but but like it's just what I'm saying is, it's like just trying to be kind to yourself and be like, I'm not feeling it today. I'm gonna go do this. So just, I think it's celebrating our wins too. Like when we do something and we do complete it, and going, um, yeah, I mean, trying to move, but the work has to be done before we can. So yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, when things have to do, yeah. Ugh, moving. I hate moving. But yeah, it's just celebrating the wins when you have them, and the little things you do on the list, and not the centering on the rest of their. It's like paying attention to what you did get done. Um, and taking the breaks. I think it's good to take breaks, because I think we do like go crazy, and then all of a sudden, yeah, it kind of. All right, Don, I got you written down. You're after Tina. If Tina wants one. I don't know if Tina's still here, but just take it a day at a time. And if you need a nap or you need to sit down, and that you do that all day, that's what you do. I mean, it's like if your kid was working her butt off, or his butt off, you would be like, hey, I yeah, there's always something or something to pull me back down quickly. Yeah, yeah. I think it's just, you would, just when you want to relax, you relax, and you take a break, and give yourself little things, and sorry, yeah, it's hard when it's this time of where you're going down trying to do all these things, and it's like you feel like well, you are the only one that's dealing with it all. Oh, And I said, find the purpose in the situation. I don't know. Like, okay, thanks. Find the lesson. Discover the purpose in a situation. Trust that you are learning. Well, you are. That's what I think that's what it started out as is, trying to keep the awareness that I am doing what I can and being kind to yourself. It's always, I think also something to look forward to for you is important. Um, Especially when you're doing a lot of things, and this is making sure you have even 20 minutes to yourself to do something. um yeah, I stay up sometimes until like 2 in the morning because I'm like, I'm just gonna stay up, when I the kids were small, because it's like, okay, it's quiet, no one can bug me. Do whatever I want. Nobody's gonna ask me a question. All right, Samantha. Well, I'll send my love goes to you, and you'll do. It's a lot going on. Yeah, I need to. Yeah, well, that's good. Meditation's work good. I'm glad. Yeah, meditation's fun. It helps. Yeah, just be kind to yourself. This is like you start talking to yourself. Just think of how you would talk to your child during that time. That's what I think of. Like, how would I, like, if my daughter came to me and said, "Oh, I feel this and this and this," I wouldn't talk to her the way I talk to myself. You know, your time until 2 a.m. Then back up again. Yeah, yeah. It's like, well, works. Yeah, I think it's good. It's just something about not having everybody's sleeping, not having anybody come to you and ask you, "What are you doing?" Okay. Well, thank you, Sam, for coming. Hi, Kara. You said, is there any direction you could help push me in my spiritual journey? No rush, no pressure. Okay. Yeah, I'll put you on the list, Kira. Okay, and then now it's Angela. Angela G. Okay. How about mermaids, Angela G? Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Oh, thank you for the robes. So sweet. You're welcome, Sam. Thank you. Time when everybody's asleep and get some peace, yes. Very much so. Husband would be like, "What time did you go to bed last night?" I'm like, "I went to bed when I wanted to." Sometimes it's 3. I still do it, and the kids are, I have a 12. My youngest is 12 now, but this week I have nobody home. I'm a cat lady this week. Yeah, they're all in Wisconsin, so visiting family, and I stayed back because I wanted to get work done. I wanted to do some stuff. All right, I gotta get things organized on here. All right, hey Angela, let's do this. Enough of me. I gotta talk about you now. Oh, you know what? I had one upside down. Okay. Soul cage. Oh, did you ask about the? I think you asked about a twin flame, right? Yeah. You were wondering about, what'd you say? I would too. How's my twin flame? Okay. Rescue, escape from captivity and restriction. Yeah, sometimes 3 or 4. Yeah, I know. I know. Like a Glena. We're doing this. So funny. Well, probably good that you don't. You can't. Okay. I know the feeling. Angela, Soul Cage, rescue, escape from captivity and restriction. So, yeah, twin flame. So it's interesting. Um, I feel like that. I mean, I feel like it's, there's no such thing. I mean, some people have yeah, I don't know the whole like thing about it, you know. I know I have like I feel like there's like soulmates. I feel like it's just more of people like being drawn together to learn the lessons, and I feel like maybe you've had like, past lives together, and that's where the draw is. And I'm not sure if if you feel like, like, but well, see through so there's I don't know how I feel about it, about the whole. I think it's just another term, right? Oh, okay. Thanks, Steph. I'm glad he did. Okay. Thank you, Steph. I like Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Joanne. How you doing? Okay, so anyway, Angela, Angela, so yeah, I mean, it's just a term. I mean, people like to know. Jesus could have it for later. Yes. Yeah. I mean, like he could come through. I mean, maybe. I don't, I've had friends who think, well, not, that say that their guide is Jesus. I don't know. Um, my guides don't have names or anything. Anyway, um, is this person in spirit? I just feel like I do feel they're farther away. I don't know if they're in spirit though, but I just feel like there was a real abrupt stopping to the relationship, and it was very dramatic. Yes, okay, and I feel like it was just yeah, okay, and I feel like it was just very I don't know. It was like I want to say it was volatile, but it was very. I feel like it wasn't like I want to make it seem like it was, but I feel like it was just a lot. I don't think there was like as much of physical abuse, but more of like I don't want to say abuse. I don't know if I can say that, but anyway, we always have these rules, like But I think it was more of like verbal, like yelling. It was a bad ending. Okay. Um, I just feel like a lot of yelling. Um, when I'm feeling this energy around him, I feel like it's him. I feel like he's more of a person that's just very like moving and like always like just very active, like kind of like ADHD kind of. I feel like it's just like really like a stereotype. Like Italians like talking with their hands and stuff. I don't know, like what I mean. Um, Kind of like that. Like he's just really he is laid back. Okay, maybe it's you. Do you have like a lot of energy then? I feel like it's this energy around, and yeah, okay. Um, so yeah, it made sense because I was thinking ADHD. Like yeah, I said ADHD, and it's just like like where people are like, oh, I talk to my hands, but like, um, I think there's just like we're saying about twin flames. I feel like it's more of like a soul, like family. Like I mean, take it however you want. I think that's where we feel like we really know each other, because we've been with each other learning lessons for a while, and I feel like it's like um, that's where that that draw comes in, and that there's just something that that person has also. in this life that you really and really want. There's something in there, like that they're holding. And it's like understanding that it's not, oh, I yeah, yeah, you knew him before. Yeah. That's what I figured. But it's like he's holding something that you want, and it's like they know it in a way. It's like not like they know it, but it's like, yeah. And it's a feeling that it's knowing that that person, a person can't hold that for you, shouldn't it, you should try to find it yourself inside you. And it's something that you can do for yourself. It's just that it's trying to understand that that's the lesson. I think that's where he the draw comes in. That I don't want to say it's like lust, but do I like, oh, I don't know why I did that way. but I feel like I'm not saying that's what you have, but like when somebody has that there and you're like, oh, I just don't know why. And yeah, I feel like that's why. So it's under trying to figure out what that person, yeah, he didn't give you what you needed. Yeah. And I feel like it's maddening. And it's something in that inside you that just ends up becoming a whole, you know what I mean? And you go, what? Why couldn't he? But it's not his. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You get resentful and upset, but it's not his job. That's not, you know, that's yours. Yeah, some people, like, me and my oldest son are very sensitive and very, ones to like, go out of our way and do little things for people. And one day he said to me, he's like, my friends don't do the same things I do for them. And I feel really sad about that. And we're always told, like, that we should do things for others that we want done for us. But not everybody is thinking the same way that we think or are who we are. Like, I'm really good at gift giving because I listen, and I'm not saying other people don't, but I listen to these little things that people talk about, and I remember them, and then I'll go and see something like, oh, they love this because I remember they say that, and I'll do that, and my husband will be like, how'd you know that? I never can find anything. It's like it's just we're all different in that way, and I think it's understanding, like, even though that person didn't do that, it doesn't mean they didn't love you less. They didn't loved you less. It's not that they loved you less. It's just that that's not them. That's not how they think. You know, that's their own. They're on their own uh, path of learning. Sometimes it's not good to overthink. Because I worry about everybody dying all the time. Like, not worry anymore, but you know what I mean. Um, I'm just so hyper aware. Of things that of in that nature. So where others, they'll go through life and not see people and not even think about it until the person leaves, and they go, oh, like, well, it was gonna happen. Like, we've been told that it's not like a surprise. Like, but yeah, you know you, I hope that helps. Feeling free, I feel like, I think it's just like anybody is always going to hold something for somebody else. I mean, I feel like there is this appreciation for you in some way, obviously, but I feel like, through time that will get better. Right now, I think it's just, yeah, being on his own, and doing what he wants to do. I think that's what all he wants to do is not. He just want to just take off and do what he wants to do. So yeah, I think he is good in a way. I feel like he's just been, yeah, kind of just, I feel like just working and hanging out with friends type thing. You know what I mean? I don't think he's really even like dating or anything. I feel like he's just I don't know, it's just something about not wanting to like engage with anybody, you know? Does that but I feel like you're doing well too, Angela. It's just it's a different type of well. I mean, like you don't want to have to depend on somebody to make you feel, you know. Well, thank you, Angela, for coming. What'd you say, Linda? Do my father or brother-in-law have any messages they passed them? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Condolences. I can give you a reading, Linda. I have some people in line, but I will get to you. I promise. If you stay. All right, see through. See through is next, and then I have Tina and Dawn. Oh, hi, Jody. How you doing? Jody's on Facebook. You're welcome, Linda. Okay. Well, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And thank you, Angela, for the roses. I appreciate that. Okay. See through if you are here. Thank you, Linda. Okay, see through. Let's do shadows and light for see through. She's here. I can't remember who came on the other day. I think it was. Oh, I think it was like it was Sarah. I think it was Sarah Bear. She was asking for something. She was on Facebook on Thursday, but she, I think she had to go. So, all right. If see through's here, I will give her a card reading. She might. Sure, Jody. I will put you in line. Oh, see through might not be in here. I never know who's all like all right, well, if see through, I don't think Tina's here either. So then it would be Dawn if see through doesn't. I think all right, Dawn, if you're still here, I'm gonna give you a card reading. You wanna give a different card. I kind of go long and then. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Dawn. How you doing? Oh, I got this angelic activation one. The one that has the longer messages. I'll do that one. Hope you're doing well, Dawn. It's better when I write things down and then, you know, I'm not having to look through messages, like trying to figure out who's next. All right, Dawn, let's see what we got. Okay, this one. Let's try this one. Oh, you're welcome, Dawn. Okay, you. Oh, wow, you got star beings. I've never gotten this card before. So this is the angelic activation one. And it says, let's see if I can read it while it's on here. I can. Star beings, written in the stars, there is a great mystery unfolding at this time. All the synchronicities and signs you are experiencing are not coincidences. They are spirit led experiences to let you know that you are on the right path. Trust in this. Where you are is where you need to be. Stay committed into your vision because star beings are guiding your dreams into reality. Activation. Thank you, star beings, for guiding my vision into reality. Oh, that's exciting. It's just something about his eyes. I mean, like, they're alien eyes, but it's just they just look very I feel like just looking at them, I feel kind of like they're like I feel like I'm kind of like seeing you, Dawn. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen your picture or anything, but I feel like just like This is for Dawn, Jody. You're like, yeah, you're not for a while, Jody. Um, you're in like four away from Dawn. Scary. No, it's not for you. I was thinking of like when you are like looking at um it just makes me feel like a glossing over of like tearing up, like just feeling overwhelmed emotionally. Um okay, I will, Jody. Um when when you see something and you're like, "Oh," but then I also feel and like or those cats their eyes get big and they're like, "Please," type thing. I feel like but for you it's more of like um just feeling just feeling overwhelmed emotionally sometimes about um people and how you feel like they're they're just the interactions you have with them. True. Yeah. I feel like it's been tough and I feel like just like physically it's been hard on your like I feel like just digestion and stuff. It's just like kind of been like I think it's a lot of stuff going on in your head about it as well. I feel like your dad in spirit is like saying you can't be everybody's friend. You can't be their friend. Not everybody's gonna like you. Um, and I don't feel like you want everybody like you. You just want everybody. I feel like there's just there's an understanding of It's not just that. I feel like it's just more of an understanding that there's just a cloud of what's going on in it, and it's like you feel like you're the only one like that's like speaking the truth about it, and nobody's like everybody has their own agendas because there's like family trauma and I feel like it's drama, and I feel like it's just like it's wanting to connect with these people but then knowing that doing it's going to cause like more like pain for you and that's hard because you want to be in these people's lives but it's like knowing that until they can see past things that other people are saying or doing that and understand that it's not you. I don't It's just something about just holding your head up high and keeping your heart, not guarding your heart too much. Don't guard your heart too much because you have such a beautiful heart. And I see your dad just kind of like really saying and your mom just giving you a hug from like behind, like she would, like she's trying to like stop you from walking away and just hug you and say it's okay. And um not everybody deserves full you sometimes, you know and so you're gonna have to, and that's hard because I think you're just really like being true to who you are, and it's not yeah, it's really hard when you have to like people like pretending or not, like don't want to pretend like everything's fine and then all of a sudden then it's not, and then you're like, well, what the heck, are we gonna talk about it or are we not, like what's going on, and it's like, but when they do, it's never there's no solving anything. So I think it's just knowing in your heart who you are, and staying, try not to guard yourself too much. I think that's the problem with the other people. They're guarding themselves, and there's jealousy of relationships and ego, and just worrying about like me wanting to be the center of attention, and not, and it's like, and you're just sitting here go, I just want to, you know see if you how you want to connect, it's like, and I think it's hard when people are in a different they're a different frequency. Not saying that, you know it is. So I feel like your dad's just like, like, it's just, you can't be. It's hard because when you want connection, you want that true connection, and it's especially when you're gotten to a point and you're like, okay, w- we know what this world's like and all this and that. It's like, why do I have to go through the motions? Why, I want to actually have true connection. I don't want to just have small talk. I don't want to just do this. I want to actually have this true, authentic um, feeling with somebody, and not worry about like what everybody, about all these little things like, oh, are we gonna get stuck in traffic today? Like, that doesn't matter. We're here together, like why should we get mad at all this? Oh, yeah, yeah, interesting. Any of them, yeah, that can do that to you, when you get that. Yeah, nice. I know. Well, my heart goes out to you, Don. It's hard, maybe hopefully they can eventually I feel like just grow up, and then you can connect with them and be part. They can be part of the, amazing life that you could have together as I feel like a family. Your dad, I feel like it's your dad is giving you like a hula hoop. Give me a hula hoop. It's like a hula hoop. It looks like metal though. Um, Kind of like a bike, like a bike rim, kind of, but like I don't know. It's like, still thin like a hula hoop, but kind of interesting. I don't know if they've ever made them like that, but okay. All right, Don. I leave their love with you. Shuffling these cards. Okay. Kira, unless see through's back. I think see through had to go. Oh, see through. Are you here? You're next, son. And then if thanks, Don, for coming. I love my animals. I have 4 cats. I used to have a dog, but I had to put him down. He was aggressive. I couldn't. He got him from the pound, and yeah. I always think of. I actually had a dream about him a couple nights ago. He's just like a. He was weird. Oh, I will. I will tell them. They know. They know already. They're already giving you hugs, Don. Oh, bless you too, Don. Um, his name is Frank, and he just would go crazy. Oh my gosh, he was like a I didn't he was supposed to be an English bulldog, but then he was also a pit bull, and I don't know what happened. I mean, I can imagine he didn't like my husband, or men, and but then he did, and but then yeah, he just got worse and worse. He'd bust through the fence. It was crazy. He was just it was like having anyway. But he was such a great dog, and but he was like a human, and I loved him. He just was so affectionate to me and the family, but yeah, I had to do it because he I brought a trainer in to get it, and he ended up biting her, like biting her. It was so scary. And just like raw. And then I'm like, oh my god. I knew because I had 4 cats. I'm like, oh my. She's like, he's gonna get worse, and she's surprised the cat he didn't go after the cats. So I had this happened in March. So I got him in January. So I had to put him down. It was a horrible thing I had to do. But I don't know what it is. I feel like it's gonna sound weird, but I feel like my dad was in the dog. Like part of my dad used to get in fights when he was a kid. It just was weird. This dog did the weirdest things. He was like a person, I swear. And I feel like it was like because I couldn't get my dad's ashes, and that's a whole other story. But anyway, um, I feel like it was like him learning a lesson. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about like us being you know reincarnated into dogs, but I've read it's possible. I just had a feeling like even my husband's like, it's like your dad's the dog. Your dad's in this dog, and I didn't even say that to my husband, and he doesn't really. I mean, he believes in this. He's just not as like which is grounding, I guess, but for me. But well now because I'm he's like totally in um because I do it. He's like, wow, what the heck's going on? But he's like he said that, and I feel like it's like I was able to help my dad through that thing. It's like, well, I had to put him down, and then now I brought him home and I have his ashes. I mean, I only had him for 3 months, but he was such so cute. Frank. We had a dog before that. He was 14 years old. He passed away, but anyway, pets are just amazing. But I had a dream about him, and he was all upset and growling upset. I'm like, oh no, somebody hurt you. And then I put my hands next to him, and he just instantly stopped. And I'm like, it's okay, Frank. Like it was my dream, and I was like, oh, I miss Frank. Hi, Tanya. Okay, so see through. It's your turn. Enough of my weird stories. So I do believe I have like I have Frank. It's Frank, but I do believe it's like a little bit of my dad's soul was in that dog. It had to have been. It just was the weirdest thing. He did the weirdest stuff that I've never had that happen before. All right, see through. I got cards. Did you have a question? All right, Tommy, I can put you on. Oh, you can ask. Go ahead. I can. Do you want me to just pull you and see if she answers, or do you want to ask it? It's up to you. I feel like you're gonna ask her if it's okay to do something. I feel like something about she's just saying it's okay to do it. There's something about doing something. I feel like um there's something about a mirror too. I feel like there's a mirror somewhere that you is there a mirror somewhere that you sometimes sense her like I mean like I don't like sense movement. Oh, see, showing yourself with orbs. Okay, is it in a bathroom or a mirror? I'm bugging you, asking to show yourself with orbs. What's next? I feel like there's something about a mirror and seeing her. That's interesting. You just said that the orbs thing, and showing herself. I feel like you do see her. I don't think you're ever gonna like really fully see her. Like I don't. I see things in my mind's eye. See through. I don't ever see them like. I don't. I never. Sure, I can get you a message, Tom. Yeah, I can put you on the list. You too, a Costello. Oh, you turned it around. Oh, I feel like she was saying she was, um, no, I feel like she would, like if you're not, it's like, there's another way of doing things. I think I haven't read it in a long time, but it's something about like looking in the mirror at yourself and not, and kind of just staring at yourself, I think it is, and then being able to see that, well, let her rest in peace. I don't think you're bugging her at all. Um, you're not bothering her. There's no feeling of that. If anything, she she is, if anything, she wants to make sure that you're getting, you're not depending on seeing her, and you're just, you're doing it because you, it's wanting, you're grieving, it's a grieving process. I think there's a whole article. It's interesting you mentioned this, because I read an article. I was looking at an article. I was going to do a post about it, and because of all these post ideas, but anyway, it's about mediumship and grieving, and how it helps the grieving process to know that, but it was an interesting study they did, um because it's just the way, love, our love doesn't, isn't, we still sense them around and all this, and I think it's knowing that also time is, um made up, but so she's around you. I don't think she, there's no like feeling like she can like rest in peace. She's energy, and she's around you, and she's, just as much as I'm connected to you right now. I'm not in your room, but I'm somehow, you know able to, you know um connect with you and feel your energy. It's the same thing. It's not like I have to always be in your vicinity. So don't want to grieve no more. I just don't have the memories yet. Oh. Yeah, I think it's just, you don't want to have the memories of what happened or around her. You just don't, it's hard to, yeah, because it's hard to like think of them, and then um I think it's hard because grieving isn't on a timeline. It's always going to be ebbing and flowing, and there's going to be hard times, and there's going to be fine times. It's never going to be, everybody's going to be like, well, it'll get better with time. Well, yeah, it kind of does, but then it doesn't. I mean, my dad passed away in 2017, and I still like will cry, and like, not like when he passed away, but if I, but sometimes hard, because you just need to. But I think it's just because it's that love that you have, that it has, there's no physical way of putting it on. And okay, well, from what I understood, is there was a mirror, and it was like talking about, she was talking about how like she was in it. um it wasn't, I feel like there was like a sense that she was around, but you couldn't see her, but you're not sometimes, even sometimes people, like with their clairs, they're not gonna see things. Sometimes they just hear things. Sometimes they just feel things. Um yeah. So I don't think, when you're sensing like she's not, you're like, where is she? Maybe you're feeling her, but you're not really seeing her, because that's not part of your that's not part of your clairs. Your clair audience. There's clair audience. There's clair sentience. There's clair whatever other ones, um, and four clairs. I don't know if it felt like a bathroom that wasn't uh like, yeah, like it was in the I felt like it was like both, because I felt like I did sense one that was like in more of like a building. It wouldn't have been, it seemed more industrial, but I felt like it was like both. And I felt, I just feel like she's around you and you kind of sense her and you're trying to see her somewhere, but I feel like it's just, you're never gonna see her. You're always gonna see, like, if you do, it's because you're sensing her, and it's more of your, you know, if anything, what would be really good for you to do is try to do lucid dreaming, or dreaming, or putting the intention before bed, and then she would come in your dreams. There's those really big dreams that you can have, like that she could come, then um that would be a, if you can do that. You work at a group home, okay. Yeah, I don't know, it just felt like more of a, is the it felt like a green bathroom, like a um like a lime green. Oh, yeah, they may not. Sometimes they do. But you can do lucid dreaming, where you kind of try to and you know, just before you're falling asleep, try to like visualize things, and then you'll start dreaming. I don't know. I've done some of that. I feel like this is her, like Dawn, the golden haired. I think she's just like, here, I'm here. You got to do what's right for you, though. See through. So if you feel like you're depending on seeing her too much and it's stress, making you grieve more, then take some time and take it some time away. She understands, and sometimes maybe she is keeping herself away because she knows that it's kind of stressing you out, or you're worrying about it too much. Maybe she's like, okay, I think you need some time, to not depend on me. Good to, like, feel through your emotions. I hope that helps. Okay, I see. Which I feel like she's just like, mom, I love you, and I would never, like, I don't feel annoyed by you. There's no annoyance, there's no bother, there's nothing. I mean, there's just love there. And it's just, and then I think it's yeah, like you said, because you doubt seeing her, and then think it's dust, yeah. The want is there a lot, and I think it's just also just knowing that, you is wanting, you know just when you feel like it's too much, just kind of, that's when just keep, you got the awareness on it, and then just, just kind of fall back a bit, and go, okay, I gotta, it's good to ground yourself in real. I'm not like that is, I mean, in this, in the world, in reality, the world, the solid physical world is what I mean when I say reality. Like, but, because there is that ethereal reality that we all feel, and it can get kind of, because of that unconditional love, and that, and that, wanting that love from that loved one, it can get you don't want that to get, they don't want you, they want you to live your life, you know that's good, yeah, because she loves you. She knows it, wants to say hi. And I think it's just trusting that the process, and her and yourself, and I think it's just the way us as humans, we can't really wrap our heads around some of this stuff, and so if you have that feeling, I think it's initially, that's always the intuition that is, you should look at more so than whatever else is going on. So I'll leave her love with you. She's in the mirror. She's just like, you sense her, and then you're like, but I can't see her. But no, she's there. It's just you're sensing it and not seeing it. Okay. All right, Kira, if you're still here. I don't know if she is, but if she isn't, then we go to Linda or Tina. Because Tina. You're welcome. All right, Linda. You're welcome, See Through. Thank you. I feel like I'm that way with my dad. Like, Dad, just show me a sign on the road. And I'm like, dang it. Where are you? Like, and it's like, well, he's trying to tell us, like, stop depending on me to show you stuff. I'm here. Why do I have to keep on proving it? It's like, because I want to see you. Like, I want to prove. It's like hard. I understand. I really do. It's because you want to feel that, like, let me just show me that thing, like, if I see this one bumper sticker that's very rare, I'll know it's him. Like, oh, that's my dad. Like, I don't know how it happens, but yeah. I know it sounds weird. Or music. Yeah, okay. All right, Linda. It's the universe. They always, like, the guides, they'll pop things that, they can change it. All right. Linda, did you have a question? If you don't have to have a question, hon, but if you have a question, let me know. You don't have to. I can just tune in. Okay. But I'll do this. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, I have a message. Brother, father, your father or brother-in-law. I feel like your father passed away from, I feel like he was ill for some time, but I feel like it was more of like just a failing of a bunch of things, Linda. I don't want to say old age because I don't feel like he was old. I want to say he was in his 70s. Um, yeah, he wasn't old. Okay. Yeah. Was he like oh, 65. Okay. Oh, close. I was gonna say 72. That was off. But your brother-in-law, did he? I feel like he might have. He had some. I feel like he was. Now, I might be getting confused, but I feel like one was overweight. I feel like that was your brother-in-law, and he had issues with his like diabetes or like just eating in general. Maybe he wasn't diagnosed, but like also he had like a heart attack, um, or like issues with his heart. Okay, heart issues. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I felt like he was overweight. Did he Was he overweight at one point and then he got better and he started like that's what took him. Yeah. I feel like he was trying to get healthier, but he had issues with his heart. Maybe he was overweight earlier. He started getting better. Um, I feel like he was just a big guy. Like I mean, like my dad was stocky too. That's what took him. Like just not like maybe not overweight, but just a bigger build, like stocky. Like I don't know if you're from England, then you're probably not understand what I mean. Stocky, like muscular, but yeah, yes, not heavy. Okay, that's why I was thinking like just feel like he's tall. I feel like was there a lot of magazines left by one of them? I feel like there's talking about a lot of magazines, like a bunch of them. I don't know why there's magazines, but I was just hearing magazines like that you read, not not gun magazines. um, um, I assume that's what I saw. I feel like there's just a collection of them or something. I feel like this is more of the brother-in-law, so maybe you might not know. You'd have to ask your sister. Um, was he a hunter? I feel like he would have been outdoors, definitely. I feel like he would have wore something though. I'm not saying he would have. I feel like he had like camo on at one point. When they like you go out, I feel like you're going in the woods and they're wearing that. I feel like he's saying he feels bad about the mother. Well, I don't want to say he feels bad, but he understands how his wife's feeling and how he feels sad that she's feeling. I feel like she's just. It was a big ordeal for her. I don't feel like. I feel like because I feel like when he got taken, I feel like he got taken to the hospital. No, not really. By ambulance or something. And then I feel like she would have had to go there and then he would have passed away there. I feel like um his feels bad how it like she because she feels like she wasn't able to be there. And he's saying that's not I just feel like she wasn't able to be there right when he passed away. I feel like this is the brother-in-law. Um he's just saying that there's like papers that you've been having to go through or it's just been papers. I don't know what you're saying. No, not really, too, but that was probably for the hunting. I don't know, something about being outside and like in like outfit. Like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know, maybe it was the dad. I'm feeling like I'm with the brother-in-law more. I just feel like there's just been a lot of stress about, well, I feel like it happened unexpectedly. And he was just saying something about like the there's like some papers that she found. I feel like there was some uh bills that she wasn't didn't know that there that that he had or just some paperwork she didn't know he had so it's just like not being organized enough for her, it's kind of just knowing the weight of that. I feel like you've been there as more of emotional support for her, and you know when I say her, I feel like it's also a kid too, unless it's because she's your younger, like a younger sibling. Yeah, like a younger sibling. Oh, okay. So like maybe it's the daughter. You know. When I'm feeling this about the woman, I'm assuming it's his wife, but if he hasn't indicated, just I have a woman that he's talking about, so I assumed it was her. you know. Um, did I give you a card? I don't know. Start going into like, oh, that's interesting. I think maybe his mom. Okay, because it was like it felt like because it was weird because I didn't feel like as much of a romantic thing. It was more of just like she was there, there taking care of him. Like that's why I was like interested, like about thought maybe it may have been daughter or something. Uh, with your dad, I feel like there was a lot of issues with his like stomach at the end. I feel like, well, if he had a feeding tube, maybe. I just feel like he had like things failing, but I feel like it was just like a lot of, yeah. And I just we're part of, okay. I feel very like, oh, um, the whole like I feel like the whole digestive like bowel area too, but I feel like, yeah, I feel like that you I was gonna say I feel like you tried to like be there as much as you could like with him, and there's an understanding of that, it's not holding that thought of him the way he was when he wants you to. I think there's a memory that you're just kind of like, I think there's an incident where you just are kind of remembering, like, and that he was in pain a little bit, and it's like, just don't remember that. Remember you know, everything before. Remember things before. But I feel like you were trying to be there more than you could, as much as you could. The way I sense your father too is he was more so like a stern man, but just very kind of like not like okay, like all right. Like I don't know, like not like he was like upset, but like kind of like okay. Uh how's he saying? It's like he's just this feeling of like like not like upset, but like kind of more of just like I think maybe that was more at the end, but I felt like he also had that like just like all right, we're doing this now type like like just going with the flow, but like not being happy about it. Um, did he wear a certain hat? It makes me feel like he had one of those certain caps, like the kind of like the reminds me like the Pinky Blinders guys, those caps. I don't know if he had that. I was seeing that Pinky Blinders cap. I don't know if you've seen the show. It's like I don't know what year that was. Was that 1900s? But anyway, I think they're kind of like a cap like a taxi guy would wear, I guess. Taxi guy, you know. I think a taxi guy wears those. Anyway, uh, he was just giving me that as a present from Spirit, so I assumed he was like he wore one of those. Oh, is that what it's called, a paperboy? It sounds like you're describing my grandma. That's funny. Maybe that's him. Yeah. Yeah, it was a present from Spirit from that. So maybe he's indicating like your dad's there with your grandpa. Yeah, that's very likely. Because sometimes they'll come together. Yeah, I feel like before he passed, this might be your grandpa, but before he passed, I feel like he was just like how I was describing it. He was just like that, and he's just like, oh, I'm just over this, you know. And I felt like there was people around and visiting at the hospital or his nursing home. Feels like like a house, a place like that. It could be assisted living, wherever. But he was like in a chair, and he's just like, ugh, why are you here? Like you know what I mean? He was like, he appreciated everybody there, but it's just like he just was over it. He's just like, you know. I feel like, yeah. Well, I leave their love with you, Linda. It was actually your dad. He was a go flow, but at the end he was done with it. Yeah, he just was done with it. He's just like, okay, that makes sense. Maybe the cap is to indicate he's with Grandpa. He's showing the cap as a present from Spirit, like who this is belongs to, and maybe you'll. I don't know if you've had to go through his things. Maybe you'll find it. Maybe he kept his dad's cap. Well, I'll leave his love with you. I'm sorry for your loss, Linda. That's a lot to go through. Um, within a month span. Feel like they are around you, and I feel like it's just I got the sense that you're the one that really does kind of keep the family together and help others, and it is like a appreciation for that from them too. So you see your brother-in-law a lot. Oh, okay. Okay, Joanne. Let's see. I got Jody next. If Jody's here, hi. Just came here for. Okay, just came. Hi, Ray True Colors. You're here to just see from now on YouTube, huh? It's funny. Okay. Let's see. And we got Jody. Jody's here. If not, then I think I said next was Tanya. Sometimes Jody or Tanya. Tanya. Sorry, I'm not good at names. I'm dyslexic, so I'll just add other letters and stuff in there, and all of a sudden you have an R in your name. And you're like, where'd that come from? I'm like, eh. Okay, Tanya. All right, let's see. I think after you there is, well, Joanne said she wants one. I'm gonna write this down quick before I go. Before I read you here, otherwise I'll forget, because I'll get into the reading and I'll forget. I think there was Joanne, and before Joanne there was A Costello. Yeah. See through Steph. You said to Steph, he is in all of us. Yes, he is. Okay. I didn't see that earlier. So funny. Okay, so Joanne, yeah, I'll get you, and then A Costello's. Okay, so I'm gonna do Tanya, and then A Costello, you're next, and then Joanne. Okay. All right. Yeah. Just making sure. I couldn't remember. Okay. Tanya. Oh, I just dropped my pop. Oh gosh. This is a pop my husband got. You can pop yourself, and my husband got me one. This is me. He gave, because I like horror stuff. He got me. Oh, I got the skull. That's me. It was, I think, for Mother's Day or something. Okay. It fell, and I was like, no, I dropped myself. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's do shapeshifters. I like those. Okay. Tanya. Did you have a question, Tanya? I don't think you did. Let me know, but otherwise, okay. You don't have to. Sometimes it's better. Oh, no worries, Joanne. Yeah, I have A Costello was there. Okay, Tanya. A message will be fine. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Leah, how you doing? Tanya. I feel like there's a woman in spirit. I feel like it's like a friend, though. Like a friend. It could be a cousin. You know, I feel like it's in close age to you. Feels like a friend. Feels like a woman. Like a sister feeling. Like you just were really close. Alice in the Sea of Tears, cast away out of your depth, feeling abandoned. Okay. So, do you feel like, I feel like there's I was gonna say there was boundaries put up. I was gonna say with you, but I feel like there was somebody else that put some boundaries. I feel like you were kind of depending on them a little too much. There's a depending on somebody, and there's boundaries put. I'm just gonna say it that way. I don't know. I was gonna say you put up the boundaries, but then maybe they did too, and then now you feel kind of like it's like you put up some, and then they put up theirs, and now there's nothing. I mean, like it's like the relationship is kind of falling apart because it's like that's what was holding it together was the holding of each other. Yeah, yeah. And so when you stopped holding that, it's like you guys didn't really know how to like come back together and actually be like without doing that. That's how that's not saying that's a reason but it was just how you guys interacted and how you guys showed your affection. And now that you're trying to do this, it's like a change, and it's just really throwing away this dynamic. And there's like a feeling of just sadness and abandonment, and like feeling like you've been lied to in a way, like just kind of like not being told the truth, and it's like confusing, and it's like, well, what is this, yeah. um I think a lot of it can get uh too um much in our head about it, and then we start focusing on one part of it, and then it can just balloon more, and then you start getting that built up of let's say resentment, and or just anger. There's just parts of us that will identify with what's happening and start really looking and be like, well, why did he do that? And you're like, well, yeah, anger, resentment, yeah, and just get upset. And then you're like, and then it's hard to then look at that person because you're already like, that's all built up inside of you, right? And so it's got to come out somewhere. I always think of it as this: it's like if there's like a something you're working on and there's a trigger that's happening. It happened last night, yeah. And it's like a mold. It'll start like molding, and it starts like ruining everything. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden now, like things that you didn't really care about or didn't bother you now really do. So it's like not just that part of it. It's now, yeah. It's getting out of that thought process. I think it's realizing it's a trauma that you're going into because um there's some things, obviously people can do things that are going to trigger us, but at the same time, if they're just, it depends obviously, but there's going to be things that are going to that maybe it's something, yeah, say it is what it is, but that's pushing it down. I think it is more so of like seeing what part of your, I say your shadow, because really, like, if you get like annoyed, okay, I'm one. I'll go into my relationship, right? Okay, my husband is one. His is stupid, but he's one to be able to, he takes his time with things, right? He can make a sandwich and it takes them forever, and I'm like, oh my god, like right. Um, but I am one to be really fast, right? I used to work at a factory. I'm like, when we're working, he'll be like, "You want to go have something to eat?" Like, no, I don't. I want to get this done. Like, it's like, what are you doing? You're just and then I go, I'm just projecting onto him. I'm projecting onto him and saying, um, you just don't want to do this, right? But really, it's not. He's actually doing something healthy, taking a break, which I would do when I would smoke, but that was because whole other story. But it's like understanding that you are like projecting things onto him, that shadow self, like, I don't feel value enough in myself. This is me, okay, to take a break. I only allow myself to have a break when I get something done, because, well, there's trauma there, right? I had a family where I was responsible since I don't know, I was doing dishes when I was 6. But anyway, I would always have to do all these chores, and it was always doing that. I never had time for myself. So, yeah. So it's like realizing that inside you're looking at him, and you're projecting that you look at that as a negative, but really it isn't. It's like where he has the thing where like he'll take his time, and it's like like he's like, let's get it done. Like, I wish we could get between, but anyway. It's like realizing that and just going, okay, I'm gonna take a break too, because I'm not gonna do it all myself. So should you stay or leave? Oh, okay. Well, I think it's I think it's knowing in your heart what you want. Is it, what is the reason for leaving? Is it because you're trying, it's too hard to, is he too stubborn? Is he not growing with you and not trying? Then, there's always like, I mean, there's a lesson there. I'm not, but if there's no, there's still love and all this and that, there's a lot to unpack, right? And it's like, yeah, well, and that's holding something and knowing. I feel like there's like that's holding something for someone and not giving your full self to somebody else, and that's not fair. So it's knowing your value and what you, right? Spirit's not gonna, and I'm not gonna tell you, because you have free will. It's up to you. Um, and they don't want to tell you you're here to learn the lesson, you know. So it's wanting to know what is your value. For somebody to hold a flame for somebody else, if it's truly he is, and it's not just you feeling that, and he's really saying, yeah, I am, then you know you deserve love of 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 a whole person, and it's talking to him that through this, when you're not, when everything's calmed down. I know it's hard to do. I always have to be like, well, I want to talk now. But it's easier when you go, okay. And then I've said this in lives before, but I Jordan Peterson has this guy. He talks. Some people like him, some people don't. He talks about. I saw a video, a snippet. I'll have to post it on or whatever. I was gonna do a post about it, but anyway, I always have. Anyway, he talks about arguments between people, and when somebody is saying something, the other person's saying, and you feel like you're not getting, headway, and the person's not listening. Well, it's good to, like, when you're having an argument with somebody, and this is not when you're triggered, right? Because you don't want to be, I get sarcastic. I'm better now. I've grown, but but you do, then you should, like, have that person, like, he would tell you how he feels about the situation, and then you would have to take what he just said in your own words, relay it back to him. Okay. And then he has to say, yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. You wouldn't try to formulate your own, like, thing. You're not, because what happens is that person's talking, and then the other person's just thinking about what they're going to say. They're not really listening. So that's where the whole argument happens, right? Not always, but yeah. And then after that, he has to do the same for you. He can't just walk away and be happy. He has to do the same thing for you. And then that way you can see each other's points of view, and can get actually somewhere, I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. I think it'll happen better in business and everything, not just relationships, but I think a lot of people just talk and don't listen fully because they're too worried about saying whatever. But my heart goes out to you, but it's hard. But you deserve love and to be treated the way you want to be treated, and you know for them to understand your value, and you will. And I feel like he can, and maybe it's, I think it's also there might be, feelings of jealousy of past things, and you worrying about that, and more so, and putting more thought into it more than it is. I don't know. I didn't really, I'm not feeling into it. I'm just saying that can happen too, you know. Okay, Tanya, you'll be fine. Love goes out to you, and I hope at least I made you laugh. So, okay. A Costello. You're welcome. All right, S. Costello. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. Did you have a question? I don't know if you. I'm sorry if you did. I couldn't remember. Times I. If you did, let me know. If you don't, it's okay. You don't have to. Oh, let's see. Should we do the talisman oracle for you? That's good. I like these. These are cool cards. Oh, which parent is watching over you? You have a favorite? Just kidding. Your father. I don't know why. Are you a? Why he wanted to say like something about India? I don't know. Have you? That's all I'm gonna say. So, that's interesting. Magical power. Oh, you're in the military. Okay. In India? I feel like it was like India. Like it's something about India. It made me feel like, oh, you haven't deployed. Okay. Okay, you're going there. Oh, okay, wow. Okay. Um it just was kind of interesting because like when he said that, it was like I was seeing when I saw a bunch of like, people who lived in India, and I was just like, and he was indicating like it was going to be like a shock. Like it was just because they're all, not what you're used to. Like walking out, it's going to be totally like when you go outside, like you're used to going outside and seeing the people you're used to seeing. This is like gonna be a shock, a culture shock, I guess. Did you like I don't know, I thought of He-Man. He-Man. Did you like He-Man growing up? I saw a sword and it made me think of He-Man for some reason. I haven't thought of He-Man in years. But for some reason I thought of He-Man. Um is it Voltron cartoon? Yeah, because look, I don't know what it is. It's about like look at this. So like I saw this sword here and it made me think of, yeah, like which is funny because the Voltron cartoon, doesn't he have like that weird like bug guy on there? Oh, hi Brenda, nice to see you. Yeah, the Don Marie's like by the power of Gray Skull. Yeah. 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 I don't know why that's why what came when I looked at that. I used to watch that so many times. I love that show. And Shira. Yeah, Shira was good. Oh, welcome from Twitch. Um, I don't know if you watched that as a kid. It's bringing up memories, I think. Like, yeah, I haven't saw it in years. Um, I felt like your mom. I feel like you have a sister or a woman that your mom was close to because she hangs around her more than you. I think it's yeah, I think you're right. Your dad does hang around you more. I feel like you did a lot of things together as a it's like you were his like little shadow, not he well, not a shadow as much, but like your a buddy, like you helped him a lot. It can be Shira. uh I feel like okay, okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, 'cause that it was like I knew it was a yeah. And I feel like just something about being able to help him fix things that he normally like you were able to like figure out before he could, and it was like you're like getting a one up on him. I feel like you were able to like do some, like he was like, man, I feel like it's like the what's that saying? It's like he's saying it. It's like the whatever. Yeah, the whatever the oh, is it something about the master is now the the teacher has now become whatever, that saying. It's like in my head. I can't think of it though. The student has now become the teacher. Something like that. Yeah, like that. Yeah, you didn't like it. Yeah. Um, you get it. This is something about his eyes. I feel like he would when he would smile, it's something about his eyes. It's like something that like touches your heart. I think it's like you could see how much he really was smiling through his, like the way he would smile. Um and it would just show up so much more in not just in his like in his smile, but more in his eyes. Um yeah. Yeah, just that it really touches your heart, like, and just how much joy he had being around, well, you, and I feel like it's just that connection of not having, to it's just being around people and not and being present and doing whatever. I mean, it wasn't like you guys went, on these huge cruises all the time or anything. It was just like, you know what I mean? I mean, I feel like it was just the and that's what life is. That's what he would say. He would say, I feel like it's just for some reason, I don't know why. I saw the dragonfly, but I thought of a moth. And I'm not going to Mothra or anything like that. Like, I'm, yeah, that's just, yes, that's another day. Yeah. It made me think of just being outside and hanging out on the, talking on the porch and stuff. Something like, just being able to be with each other and just, I don't know, just enjoying each other's company, after a long day's work. And And sometimes it's just fun to watch the world go by, you know? I feel like you guys would do that. You wouldn't even have to talk. I feel like you could just sit there with each other and it was a good feeling, you know? Yeah. Just the unconditional love that he had for you and you have for him, well, transcends this. So I just want you to know he loves you very much. And I do feel that a lot. Yeah. It's a good, it's hard to lose somebody like that because when you feel that type of love and connection, it's the hardest to have, But he's still there with you. He hangs out with you. I'm sure you feel that. He'll, don't worry, he'll come with you to your deployment. Well, thank you, A. Costello. Go watch some He-Man or She-Ra now. I know how much he loved you because he just feeling that. I can feel it so much. So yeah, you're welcome. It's not as good as it. I don't know. I watched it when the kids how long the kids are 22 now. My oldest is so when she was 7. I got the DVDs and we watched. I think I still have. Yeah, watch them is not as good as what they used to be. When you remember, I tried watching 18. That's not the same. It's funny. What? This is so weird. All right. Thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. All right, Joanne, if you're here. Otherwise, I'm gonna say goodbye. I don't think anybody else is waiting. I think Joanne's gone. Oh, hi, Linda. Linda Dunn. Do you want a reading? Do you want to be the last reading for today? And then we'll be done. Ah! I'm sorry. It was a low-hanging fruit. I know. I shouldn't have... Oh, there's Jody. Jody, yeah. Sure. I don't know if Jody was supposed to have a reading before and she wasn't. I didn't see her, but I think she's having difficulties with it. Oh, she said I'm having. I don't know. Oh, we'll see what Jody says after. But Linda, I can give you a reading right now. I know. Unless, and then we'll call it a good day, and unless Jody Olsen says she wants one. All right, what should we do? We'll do the archangels. How's that sound? All right, Linda. Oh, your Wi-Fi is playing now. Yeah, I know, Jody. Well, I'm gonna give one to Linda, and we'll see if it calms down. I don't know what's going on. All right, Linda. We got the archangels. Actually, oh, you are here. Okay. All right, Linda. I promised Jody, and Jody has really bad internet, so I'll just give her I'll give her a reading real quick. All right, Jody. Hopefully you stay on. I'll do it right now, Jody, since you're here. You were supposed to go earlier, but you kept on going in and out. Okay, Jody. Let's see what we got. All right, hope, authentic, reclamation. It's time to call back all the lost parts of yourself. So this is you for Jody. This is you for you. I think it's just opening up a lot of your chakras here. I feel like see this. I feel like that's. Oh, it just made me think of a lotus flower and just opening up your Yeah, your heart chakra and your other chakras. I think there's like just blockages. I think you just got to do um, some of the feeling of that energy going through you more so than you have. I think it's I think there's a need to do that, and I think it will clear out things and make you feel better mentally. You know, just physically too. I feel like a lot of things that are just energy that needs to be cleared out, like, or just felt. There's energy that needs to be felt that you haven't allowed yourself to feel. Does that make sense? I think there's like a grandfather in spirit. Jody, you have a grandfather in spirit. It's like I feel like I had him one other time. Hi, Sarah Bear. Oh, it's okay. You're not too late. I'm gonna. Okay, you're welcome, Jody. Are you? Are you okay? Yeah. Okay. So, the grandfather is. I was trying to like. Well, I gave you a reading on Thursday, but you weren't there because you were the Wi-Fi came out. But I feel like I don't remember if it was you. I gave you a reading. I think it was you, and then it felt like this feels like the same guy. Feels a grandfather, and I feel like he's got like kind of like overalls on and plaid shirt. I just see him sitting on a couch. Yeah, I think I told you this earlier. I feel like you. Well, for this, I think though. I don't know if she's on here. I feel like you're need to just take better care of. You have to work with your mom about this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I feel like it's just taking better care of your like energy and allowing yourself to feel this stuff. Yeah. Um, especially if you I feel like there's just things that could come up with interactions with people that it might help with just the frustration sometimes, and I think there's frustration that happens, and then then you do push it down, and it can like affect your like just how you're feeling like stomach wise, and um I feel like you have issues like where you feel like your legs are kind of weak, and I'm not saying that that's the whole reason, but things can get um you could cause yourself to get sick by not feeling your feelings, and I feel like um oh, you feel that, Sarah Bear? Yeah, just not it just can feel sick without if you're not feeling your feelings, and yeah, um allowing yourself to, yeah. All right, Jody, I don't know if you're here. Well, let me know if that resonated with you, Jody, but I think your Wi-Fi kicked out again. All right, I'll let you. I'll leave your grandfather. Your grandfather is with you. He's always talking about. I feel like he's just wanting you to create more. All right, thank you, Jody. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I feel like he's telling you the same thing he told you last time. I can't remember what he told you last time. I feel like it had to do with you're being creative and. All right, Linda. Linda from Facebook. Sure. Um, I can. Then you'll be last. Then Sarah, Linda, Linda Dunn. I made a horrible joke. Okay, you'll message me later, Jody. Okay, good. Yeah, because I feel like I'm just kind of repeating myself. Linda Dunn was. I said then we'll be done, but then it's okay. Sarah, you were on Thursday, I think, and I was like, oh no, she asked a question, and then she couldn't be on there. So Linda, and then you, and then we'll end with you. All right, Linda. Let's see. Hi, Yvonne. No worries. We're just doing Linda and Sarah Berry next, and then we're gonna go, and then I'm gonna be done. But yeah, if you want a quick card, I'll give you a card. No worries. All right, Linda. 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 Oh yeah, we're gonna do trust your vibes. That's what we're gonna do. I'm just laughing at. You're welcome, Sarah Bear. Okay. So we got. Yeah, you did. Well, I could always give you a quick card, Yvonne. That's no big deal. This is for Linda. Reconsider. Oh, okay. Linda. I feel like you made a decision, and I feel like you made a decision. I feel like I don't know why. Feel like you went down a different, you're going down a path there. But I feel like it's like now you're like, I feel like it has to do with work. I feel like sometimes something, I don't feel like it's a relationship thing. I feel like it has to do with like work, um, finance. I feel like it's like you made a decision, Linda, and now it's like you really are like, I'm gonna have to, which is hard because I'm not saying, I mean, just as humans, it's not just you, but like us as humans, we don't like being wrong and having to go back, you know. Um, yeah. So I feel like it's okay, it's I feel like, knowing what you know now, you wouldn't have made a decision, but you only know what you know at the time. I think we do that to ourselves. We'll be like, well, why did I do that? Well, that's because you only knew. Now that you know all the information, right? It seems like a no-brainer, right? But can't Monday night, Monday morning, whatever, armchair quarterback yourself to death all the time. It's not fun. Um, I think it's shows a lot of look at it. It shows a lot of strength to be able to do that. Some people will go through life and just doing the same thing because they want to prove somebody else wrong, even though it's not the best thing. You know what I mean? Not saying that's what you're going to do, but so they're just saying reconsider. You're reconsidering it. I don't know why. I feel like in the next couple months, you'll just feel better about it. Once you make the decision to do that. Something about like just being told sometimes when like I you know I feel, yeah, definitely, I feel like just being told sometimes, like, oh, I told you, you just like, well, that doesn't help anything. you know I feel like just hearing that when you're younger or whatever, it's like, you're trying to like not, you feel like you're, when people say that, like you're a kid or something. I don't know, it makes me feel um like a woman in spirit, like a grandmother or a mother. Feels like a mother though. Just feels like a just that, like it's just hard. I think she had a hard time, like, not wanting to, something about not wanting to be wrong. I feel like some people will, if this person makes me feel like they would die by the sword than rather like admit that they did something wrong. They would rather like they would stick with it. So somebody in spirit for you, I feel like it's like a grand, feels like a mother, but my grandma. Sometimes grandmas feel like me very motherly. To, they take care of us and are like our mom. Your nan, okay, yeah. I feel like she would stick to this, to her guns, and yeah, that's not healthy. But we all go through our own. I feel like she was she makes me feel like she's not like overly overweight, but like she's not thin, and I feel like she had like a floral print on her. Spot on with her. Like more of a floral print, like dress. It's just not, would not really be like very form fitting or anything. It'd be kind of like loose and kind of not very, um, not bad. Just like it's not like a, I don't know, designer dress, but it's like it's a dress. It's like she was just wore a lot of those. Um, it just makes me feel like they're like, she had glasses. She had glasses, kind of like, um, house coat. Okay, that's what. Yeah, it's kind of like that's. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of like the same. Yeah. Um, that makes sense because those house coats, those are. Yeah, they're very like. That's what I mean when they're not designer. It's like it's kind of like it kind of just goes down like real. Um, that makes sense. I feel like she had glasses that were kind of like like mine are 50s glasses, but hers were like a like rounder in a way. Like she had like older glass like style. Makes me feel that way. Um, but even as more of those, I feel like, yeah, I feel like she had like a stroke. Um, I feel like she was like in the like a facility for a bit. I feel like she had a stroke. Like she was like couldn't live on her own for a bit, but she wasn't like sick, but she couldn't like get be taken care of, and feel like she did like improve um to some degree, but you still couldn't live on her own. I feel like she's just yeah, okay. Yeah, I feel like she just kind of passed away. I don't it's kind of like I'm pretty sure it's just kind of confusing like of all what happened. But that's what I feel like. There's like no real understanding of like what happened after when she passed away. That's what I feel. I don't know. I can't really yeah. Oh, you said yes for the other thing. Never mind. Um, okay. Well, she's saying like, why don't wondering why you should be like taking care of your like the things they think. Okay, I think she's just I know she's just kidding, but it's like funny what they say. Like, oh, you should be taking care of your flower beds. There's something about flower beds. Does she like for flower beds? I feel like something about her flowers, and I feel like she's like you should be like something about maintaining them better, like goofing around. I don't know if she's what I mean. I think it's just something like that what she would normally say in like real, when she was alive, like she would really take care of her plants outside. I feel like she's saying you got to really maintain that better. Um, I don't know if that makes sense. It was like taking care of your flower beds, like something about weeding. There's something around you. Anyway, you're weeding them. You're weeding them today. Yeah. Okay. So she's giving it evidence of what's around you right now. It's funny. You really got to maintain your flower beds. It's like, okay, like I'm going to tell her this. I'm going to tell her this. That's funny. Okay. Well, she's there. So, it's funny. I feel like she would have liked like I feel like tea more than coffee. Um, yeah. She's around you. Yeah, and she's just showing me like angel wings. I don't know why. I was sometimes maybe think of a figurine of some sort, but it didn't seem like those. I know you can get those angel figurines like type things. I've had one come up in reading once, but it wasn't that. Loved your tea in a chat. Yep. So I was like, it was just like I could see her in that house coat and just like enjoying her tea. Yeah, but there's something about wings. There's like a angel wings of some sort that she's just showing me, and that was her gift from spirit to you. I don't know why. What that is. It's not a angel figurine, but it's more of like just the wings itself. There might be something that you have that maybe it's on her. She have it put it. They put some on her grave. Hmm. I'll leave her love with you, Linda. Thank you for coming. All right. Thanks for the heart puff there, Sarah. Okay, Sarah. Let's give you a reading. All right. Thank you, Linda. Oh, oh. I think that's great that she's like watching you weed today. She's like, finally, no. She's just showing you they give you evidence around you and that they're around and okay, yeah, look out for the angel wings. It might just be like sometimes they'll come to you later, or maybe you'll see some later, and that's kind of like their signal that they're around. And sometimes it's something that they gave you. It's something special for you. That's a present from spirit. All right, Sarah Bear. Do you have a question, Sarah Bear? I like saying Sarah Bear. Sarah Bear. You're welcome. Oh, no problem, Linda. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah. Well, I can't get you pregnant. No, but only fertility. You're wondering if you'll get pregnant? Um, you've been trying, yeah, for a long time. Yeah, it's a big mug, Linda. Yeah, I like my coffee. I put tea in here too. Trying for a long time. Okay. Well, I don't. This isn't really.
from spirit. But, it's like when you stop trying, sometimes that's when it happens, right? Um, it's the stress of, you know, s- um, actively trying. Um, I have a lot of big mugs, Linda. Let's see what they gotta say. I love big mugs. My dad always had big mugs too. I think that's why. Try, but my husband is on treatment. Oh, he's on treatment to produce sperm. Okay. Well, I don't know how active. Like, are you? For some reason, I feel like you're just like very active. I feel like there's an activity level. Have you tried your thyroid though? Because have you checked your thyroid? I'm doing well. Like, are you like, my sperm? How are you? I'm doing good. Well, I couldn't get pregnant for 2 years. Um, when I first had my first child, it took a while. I had to take that Clomid, and then I was like, I'm gonna have twins. Yeah, I have ADHD too. So as you can tell, I'm talking to Linda about big mugs. It doesn't bother me. I just go right to that, and then all right, spirit and spirit, you know. you know? Yeah, like, do you have? Yeah, that's the next step. I feel like there's something with their thyroid, like there's an overactive. Yeah, I know. I wanted twins. That's how crazy I was. Yeah, I mean, like, I am still crazy, but I was like, twins, let's do it. And then I had my in 2003 September. Yeah, I know. And then I had it in, and then I had my twins would be insane. Like, because like I had my first one and it was like, and then I had the second one in 2005 October, and so they're 2 years apart. And my second Evan, he just, oh my gosh, he had GERD. He had this thing where it's called gastrointestinal reflux disease, and he got over it after 18 months. It's just something he had, and he would eat. I'd breastfeed. I was like, yeah, I can finally breastfeed. I couldn't do it with Valerie, and then he would just throw it all up. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god. And it was like, okay, well, I can't breastfeed now, because couldn't produce enough. But anyway, so then we weren't gonna have any more. We're like, oh, that's it. And then he went to school. I think he was in, like, about to go in first grade, and then my husband's like, maybe we should have another. I'm like, yeah. And then we had Calvin. So he's like, almost 10 years. He's 9 years younger than um my my firstborn. And you just forget. You're like, oh, let's have another one. So he was planned. But Evan, because I was so hard to have with Valerie, we just thought we would just be like, all right, well, it's gonna take a bit. We'll just do it, right? And then he ended up being born. I ended up getting pregnant right away. How old were with last? Well, I'm 46 now. So I was 34. Yeah, 34. So yeah, yeah. He'll be 13 this year. Yeah. So no way, Angie. What'd you say? No way, Angie. What? Oh, thank you. I usually tell people I sacrifice. I have a lot. I'm just kidding. My husband thinks I do. He's like, "How many bodies are in the backyard? Why you look this way?" Oh my god. You better not ask. No, I don't know. Yeah, I just I don't even I just started using lotion this year, so I'm not very good about stuff. But yeah, it's just um, genetics, really. Rapunzel mother goes mad. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Rapunzel's mother. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, that's why my daughter, she quick left and went to college. It's like, I'm not sticking around. Take away my beauty. Okay, so we see the ADHD got like really hard on that one. I totally was like, what were we talking about? No, it's my fault. We went like down like 10 rabbit holes of like story of things. It's funny. Um no, don't worry. I had like 3 hours of sleep and I was like, am I gonna be able to do this? I was fine. But because I couldn't go to bed. My husband's gone, and my youngest is gone, and they're in Wisconsin, and I'm like, I can do whatever I want, and then I'm like, what time is it? Oh, I should go to bed. Oh, nobody's telling me to go to bed because of ADHD. I just took a pop. Oh yeah, see, that's what I do too. But I think it's making sure the thyroid. I think it's something to do with also, you know, just makes me feel like it's like a I don't know why I feel like it's more overactive than underactive. But um, there's thyroid. Um, just something about also working out. I don't know if you work out a lot. I like, but um, okay, so it might be that because that can really throw. Well, it's all your hormones and everything. And you gotta be. I used to be on thyroid meds. Well, for hypothyroid, the slower one. Um, but that was because my weight was too high and it threw off all that stuff. But so I had hypo at one point before I had Calvin, and I was taking Synthroid and all that stuff. But it's interesting because like I think now when they do, make sure you go to endocrinologist because when they do the blood work, sometimes the way they do the blood work is they don't look at the levels correctly. The levels that they show like for the blood work, um, they have such a big range and it should be smaller. I think they might have changed that now, but when I back in 2012 or well, it was 2009 when I went and had that. But you should then make sure that there's a that they're looking at it through that smaller window. It shouldn't be so big. I think it was a big window. It was like ridiculous because anybody that has plus then they got to test your other stuff like well you go to the doctor the T4 and all that. I don't know all that stuff. But yeah, that's what comes to me. But try what you can. I mean, yeah, we did all that fun stuff of the husband doing stuff in cups and having rushed that to the doc. That's always fun. And it's like really brings the joy out of things, right? But you do what you gotta do. Yeah. And he's like, well, why can't you help me? Well, no. I was kidding. I oh well. It is what it is. But that's what they got to do. They go through all that stuff. And I used to take my temperature, the vaginally, just make sure that, then you can tell, like, well, now they have tests, but you could just by the smallest basal body temperature, you could tell when you're ovulating too. I did a lot of those charts, and that's when I showed my doctor. And then just by doing that, he didn't have me wait too long. He had me just because I had all that stuff all done. Yeah. It's fun. Sorry you are going through it. It's not, but I think it's once it's yeah. I think it's once you go through, you do it and you kind of Yvonne's laughing at me on YouTube. Once you go through it, and you kind of like then trying not to, it's hard not to because it's a want, like I want to get pregnant. I want it now. And then you get pregnant, you're like, oh no, this is gonna come out. Oh no. Like, what was I thinking? But yeah, ill before you know it. So yeah. Mm. Yeah, big old I know. None of my kids wanted to come out. They were like decorating in there. I swear. They were just like my first my first she was two weeks later, and I was like 2 weeks late. I was, and they had to induce me all 3 times, and yeah, crazy. Yvonne's laugh. All right, I'm gonna give Yvonne a card, and then we'll say goodbye. But you're welcome. I hope that helped. I just, yeah, medically I feel that for you. Just make sure you're getting that checked out. Might be the issue, especially if your mom had it. It makes a lot of sense. All right, Yvonne, you want a card? And then we had a long day, Yvonne. I was doing Reiki and stuff. Okay, what do we want to do? Let's do magic of you. Thank you for the heart puff. Heart. Oh, I have time. Yeah. There's nobody here. It's just me and the cats. It's so nice. I mean, I miss my husband. I do. It's just me and the cats, though. Me and the cats. I got 4 cats. They went to Wisconsin. So it's midnight there. God, okay. Oh, man, I don't. I go to bed late anyway, but you did a lot. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've showed this one to you before, Yvonne. Have I showed this one to you before? Or yeah, I gotta get to my bed tonight. Yeah, that's right. I do. I went to bed. Oh my god, I was up so late. I just gotta stop like trying to build stuff in Canva. I hate Canva because then I gotta not care. I gotta not care about being perfect. It's like, oh, it's gotta. Oh, I'm like, I hate it. Anyway, so transform the way you see. You're a night owl too. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's just the way you're looking at things different way. I don't feel like it's showing that one to you. I don't know why. I feel like I have. Let me show it to you again. I'll do a different deck. Oh, let's do the moon one. I don't know why. Oh, I feel like it was an old message. All right. Oh, no worries. It's the way the internet works, or the way this all works sometimes. Oh, let's see. Oh, I like this. I feel like this is it's a nice card. Like it's like, well, I feel like it's more of like the connection that you have with people. Like I feel like with you, like I feel like it's like we all are sisters and reflect the divine in one another. I think that's really great. I feel like you have that connection with people. Um, I feel like that with you, Yvonne, but you have that with other people too. And when like that you were with your group today. Um, and I feel like it's very energizing for you. You have 3 sisters. Oh, okay. Yeah. And you reflect the divine in each other. I feel like
Is there one in I forgive and let go with loving ease. Is there one in spirit? I feel like I don't know. It's either that or she does the work kind of work like you do. I feel like she was at least one in spirit, right? I feel like unless it's just I'm feeling like you guys like go to the, like I'm seeing water. I feel like there's like an ocean. Um, we have two brothers in spirit. It makes I don't know if you how much TV you watch, but there's a show. Um, what's it called? It's a they have accents, and it's I think it takes place in England, and there's these sisters, and they go diving into the area all the time. They kind of live by it. And they're very involved in each other's lives. And for some reason, I saw the water, and it made me think of that show. I watched a show a couple years ago, or last year. Um, and it's about these. I think there's not three sisters though. I think there's like four or five of them. It just made me think, like one of them had a husband that they knew didn't treat him correctly, and that's the part of the show. And then he ends up dying, and they think you don't know the show. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, it just made me feel like you were very connected with your sisters more so than like very sisterly, like in each other's lives where you are there for each other. Like you could go if you wanted to, you could go and be there. Have you seen that show, Sarah? It's got two seasons. It's really good. I forget what's called. Um, yeah, I love that. Um, it was really good. It was really good. But he ends up dying, and they're like, we're gonna make sure that you know." Oh yeah, it was really good. Yeah. And then ends up, I forget even how he passed away. She didn't. Oh, yeah, something happened. Then yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to give it away. Anyway. uh, it made me feel like you were, you know, at least at one point, very, very close and in each other's lives and um, relationships and stuff, and very, yeah. To anyone one's got okay. It just made me feel like that. Did you guys go to the ocean a lot? It made me feel like it was like almost like not like what the plot was on the thing, but like just that feeling of closeness and the like they would. That show was so amazing. I wish I had. I don't have a sister. I have a brother, but he's younger. But I wish I had like made me feel like that kind of sister. I wish I could would have had something like that. You know, just that. Um, they would just yeah, you do too. There, yeah. I wish I could. You could just have like somebody like who would they would just go to the like, oh, we gotta do this. Like it's a lot. I don't know. No, not near the ocean sea. Huh? Interesting. Like a pool. Maybe it's a pool. Yeah. Anyway, I felt like you guys would go in the water. Like I don't know why. I think it's I know why. This is the way the picture is. It looks like it why too. It's made me think like I don't think they're in the water, but it makes it look like it. Like they're kind of like waiting by a pool or something. Um, I don't. Yeah, there's no water there, but it makes me feel like, oh, you'd be so steroid. Sounds good. I'll take that. See, it looks like kind of like they're waiting by a pool. If they're not, but I guess maybe because their backs look like they have swimsuits on. You know. Oh, Julie, I'm sorry. I'm just giving Yvonne this last read, and then I'm gonna head out. So I could quick give you a card, but I don't want. I'm gonna go see what
Oh, no worries. I always feel bad. Like, oh, I'm here, but next time. All right. It's I think it's good to have those. I think it's those connections, and I feel like it's just like I think it's also your mom, Yvonne, just being really being happy of like seeing your kids still like be with each other and be it's very it just makes your heart happy, you just to see that they're 'cause that's all you want for your children and with their siblings is to get along and be and I think it's and I say like when I was talking to Sarah about the twins, that's almost how like my two oldest kids are like they're almost like twins. I mean like they're almost like that. They're 2 years apart, but they're like inseparable. Oh, you're the one. Yeah, there's always got to be somebody. Yeah, keeps everybody together. But I think it's nice. You know, not everybody understands the connection, the importance of it until it's gone. Some people just don't really. I think it's hard for people. I I want to say that I think it's hard for people sometimes to think about what's going to happen until it actually happens because it's too hard on them. Oh wow, 17 years older. Wow, yeah, yeah. It would be like a mom. It's kind of like that show. She had a really older mom. I think Britt did, or I don't even remember the names of the people. What? I forget her name. Bianca. Oh, I think it was Bianca. I don't know. Yeah, families do change when the parents pass. My brother and I don't talk, but that's yeah, it is what it is. All right. That's nice that it's just it feels good that you're still you know, you do what you can. I mean, like if it didn't work, if she would understand. But it's nice when you're see even after you pass, there's still getting together and 9 years later. Oh, see, Calvin wasn't a mistake, and he came 9 years later. But 5, wow, yeah, yeah. You I'm sure they're like 5's enough. Sarah wants 5. No, I'm kidding. I don't know if she's still here. Sarah's like, yes, all at once. All right. Thank you, Yvonne. She's a even if you're a happy mistake. That's what I'm thinking. You know that though. You weren't a mistake. You're a happy incident, not a mistake. So, all right. I'll leave their love with you and let you go to bed. All right. I'll see you guys later. Let's see what my cats are doing. All right. Thanks everybody for coming, and I'll see you on Tuesday at well, I think 5 o'clock. I might start it early because nobody's here. I don't have to pick up anybody. So 4 o'clock. We'll do it 4. You're welcome. I gotta go to bed now. Yeah, and not stay up late. Thank you. You are a gift. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, thank you. I gotta be told to go to bed. I do. All right, I'll see you guys later. Love.